Ladies and gentlemen, boarding is about to begin. Please stand in line and have your boarding pass ready so we can get you on board as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience.
The redactions in this process. You were talking about before a commercial about, is this going to help or hurt the trust that people have towards this administration? And there are a lot of questions about how this redaction process is going. It was only the Department of Justice was only supposed to redact anything that would pertain to victims to protect their identity, their personal privacy, but they have taken it a lot further than that. And so the members of Congress who pushed this effort to become law that's mandating this release that we're starting to see are contemplating, when they come back in the new year, how can they push this administration to do more, to release everything that they're supposed to be releasing. And this is certainly not how Trump, I think, wanted to end his year.
And I think every time that one of those occasions happens, there is a spike in public interest. You can pull the kind of Google trends throughout the course of this year, and you can see the spikes whenever Capitol Hill is getting involved, or the president is trying to not talk about this. And they're pretty dramatic over time. We're in the midst of one again. And Sarah, I think my question has long been, do people care about this outside our kind of myopic bubble that we often live in, or what we get focused on?
Yes, they totally care. And I'll tell you how we know that. It was the Republicans on Capitol Hill that joined with Democrats to vote to release these files. And the reason that Republicans did that is because they're getting pressure from their constituents, from everyday people who want to know which people in power were related to Epstein. This is an issue that I think touches everybody across the political aisle, which is child sexual exploitation. To your point on transparency, one thing I thought was so interesting about the last doc dump was that some of these redactions, online sleuths were able to go and figure out what was redacted through various technology tools. Folks also caught that a lot of Donald Trump-related material was suddenly pulled off of the DOJ's website. And so in the spirit of transparency, if we've got 1 million more docs coming, you best believe that everybody in America is getting ready for them. Look at the pictures that just came out. We have Bill Clinton swimming in pools with people. I mean, this is juicy stuff. But if you're not going to handle it with full transparency, you're only going to make the problem worse. People are only going to be more skeptical that there's stuff hidden.
How quickly do you think Congress may act when they come back?
Well, Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna, who are the bipartisan duo who led this whole effort, have already been foreshadowing that as soon as they return in the first week of January, that they are going to take some action. One option, and Phil, you know Congress pretty well, is inherent contempt, and it's a pretty rare move. Even just to explain it, I think folks are going to be like, "Wait, what?" It's basically to have the Sergeant of Arms, who is the police of the House of Representatives, would arrest or hold in kind of detainment the person that the lawmakers are intending to go after. So if it's Attorney General Pam Bondi or Deputy Todd Blanche, I think those details are sort of being worked out. But those two lawmakers have said publicly that's step one of what we are going to try and do. Obviously, it's a big step. There are a lot of caveats there, but that's just to show the extreme lengths that I think lawmakers are trying to go, because this
or push the administration towards action. My guess is that Zach and Annie will be taking a lead role in explaining all of the various mechanisms at length in their various platforms. Boycotts. We're going to break down the biggest business stories of 2025.
Erin Patterson has been charged with murder for suspected mushroom poisoning.
Erin's darkest secrets were coming out. We were all on the edge of our...
free book to answer questions you may have. Call now and we'll come to you.
800-821-4000.
From Trump trade wars to corporate culture wars, it was a tumultuous year in the world of business and economics. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich has the top 10 business stories that defined 2025.
Trump's trade war sends shockwaves across global markets. Two popular companies make changes that court controversy, while another is facing its own challenges as its CEO goes Doge, and the Oracle of Omaha takes his final bow. These are the top business stories of 2025. Number 10, Warren Buffett retires. In May, a surprising announcement from America's most admired CEO.
The time has arrived where Greg should become the chief executive officer.
Buffett is stepping down after more than 60 years at the helm of Berkshire Hathaway. The famed investor is a towering figure in American finance. Now 95, Buffett said no magic moment sparked the decision. Number 9, a corporate facelift becomes an about face.
I don't like it. I wish that they would keep the way that it is.
A new logo was a no-go for Cracker Barrel. It quickly backpedaled in August after online backlash, even from the Oval Office, expressing outrage at the updated look. The company also canceled restaurant remodels, part of a turnaround plan for the struggling brand. Number 8, Target tanks. It was a walk back of a different kind that put Target in the crosshairs after a rollback of so-called DEI initiatives in January.
It'd be less expensive and a less cost if they would just do right by humanity.
Allow them to see our power.
Foot traffic fell 9% year over year in the next month due to a consumer boycott, another dent to earnings amid slumping sales and tariff pressure. The company still hasn't recovered, and CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down after 11 years on the job. Number 7, Elon goes Doge. It's been a tumultuous year for Tesla, too. Elon Musk's company suffering slumping sales, stock price volatility,
Elon Musk has got to go.
protests, and at times, even vandalism.
Keep going, Musk!
Consumer backlash was aimed at Musk's work with President Donald Trump's administration as part of the Department of Government Efficiency.
You can't be penalized for being a patriot, and he's a great patriot.
Musk stepped away from the government in May, but despite a rocky year, this fall,
with over 75% voting in favor,
Tesla shareholders showed a vote of confidence in the CEO, awarding him the biggest pay package in corporate history.
If something incredible is done, that compensation should match that something incredible was done.
That puts Elon Musk in the express lane to potentially become the world's first trillionaire. Number 6, sticky inflation.
Prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things.
Despite what the president says, and despite being a major factor in last year's election, inflation is still above 2%.
With tariffs and all the things that are happening, there's a rise in costs.
Consumer sentiment is near record lows as Americans struggle with affordability. Number 5, the K-shaped economy, or America's uneven recovery.
If you're at the top of the K, you're pretty wealthy and you're doing pretty good right now. Stocks are near an all-time high, and that's padding your bottom line. But if you're making less than $100,000, you're not in that category. Inflation is really taking a bite, and you're making some very difficult financial decisions right now.
Higher earners are weathering higher prices by trading down in where they shop, like Walmart. That's propping up spending while lower-income Americans are pulling back. Number 4, a shaky job market.
You can see how bumpy the ride has gotten recently. In fact, we now know that out of three out of the last 6 months, the economy has lost jobs.
The job market is slowing. June, August, and October saw the first losses since the pandemic.
Uncertainty really is the theme for 2025. It's been a big driver for why the economy has slowed down over the course of the year, and it is probably the blocker that is going to prevent hiring from picking up through the rest of the year.
Trump blamed the worse than expected job market on the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, firing her in August.
We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous.
He accused her, without evidence, of manipulating the monthly jobs reports for, quote, political purposes. Number 3, the Fed acts.
We begin with our major breaking economic news. The Federal Reserve announcing its decision on whether to make its first interest rate cut this year, and it's happening after months of pressure from President Trump.
Despite months of threats and taunts from President Trump, the Federal Reserve made the first of 3 rate cuts in September. The Fed held rates steady for 9 straight months to assess how President Trump's tariff policy would impact jobs and inflation.
It does lower Fed rates to the lowest level in 3 years.
Interest rates affect what Americans pay for mortgages and other loans. Number 2, Wall Street's roller coaster. Over a single year, the major U.S. indices lost nearly 20% in market value in the spring, then gained it back a few months later.
Stocks in a free fall on President Trump's decision to further escalate his trade war.
Wall Street closed last hour with the Dow above 48,000 for the very first time.
The market madness driven by the president's on and off tariff policy.
A lot of much bigger things are going on, namely AI.
AI is fueling a technology boom and a boom on trading floors, led by NVIDIA, whose market cap is approaching $5 trillion. But AI's meteoric rise is fueling concerns of a bubble burst on the horizon. And number 1, the launch of a historic trade war.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in America.
Welcome to your American Airlines flight. On its way to one of our many destinations across the globe. Made possible by our dedicated team members, who all do it for one reason. To open, lift the top of the buckle. And remember, seatbelts should be fastened whenever table is stowed. Larger carry-on luggage goes in the overhead bin. If you have a handheld device, please switch it to airplane mode now. If your electronic device falls into your seat, please do not adjust your seat and contact a crew member for assistance. U.S. law prohibits smoking, including e-cigarettes, at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the lavatories may result in a fine. U.S. law requires all to comply with lighted and posted signs and crew member instructions. Now let's review the safety card in your seat pocket, which explains the safety features of this airplane, including the location and operation of exits and flotation devices. This aircraft is designed with escape path lighting on or near the floor. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, leave all carry-ons behind and follow the lights quickly and safely to the nearest exit. A sign will indicate you have reached your exit. All exits on this airplane are clearly marked. Take a moment to locate the nearest one. Keep in mind, it may be behind you. All door exits have evacuation slides to use in the unlikely event of an emergency. In a water evacuation, the exit door slides in the front and back of the airplane may be detached and used for flotation. You'll find the exact location on your safety card. When directed to exit, jump onto the slide and move away from the airplane. If the cabin loses pressure, oxygen masks will drop automatically. While remaining seated with your seatbelt fastened, pull down on the mask or the red streamer to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth, and put the elastic band over your head. Then pull the straps to tighten and breathe normally. Remember to always put your own mask on first before helping others. Know that oxygen is flowing, even if the bag doesn't inflate. Life vests are located under, next to, or between your seat. For help locating them, see your safety card. To remove the vest, pull the tab or compartment handle to break the seal. If equipped with an elastic harness, remove the harness before opening the pouch. Remove the vest from the package like this. Put the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach the buckle, and pull tight. Once outside, pull the tab to inflate your vest or blow into the red tube. In the water, a light on your vest will automatically illuminate. If necessary, an infant life vest will be distributed by a crew member. The safety card shows how to use it.
It's our honor to care for you on your journey. If you have any questions, please refer to the safety card or feel free to ask any of the cabin crew as they do their final cabin check. And as always, let us know if there's anything we can do to make your journey more enjoyable.
American Airlines. You are why we fly.
Ladies and gentlemen, up here from the cockpit here. We should be departing here to LaGuardia in a few minutes. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. We're looking at a flight time of around 2 hours and 40 minutes. Smooth flight, once again. Thank you for choosing American for your travels. I will be back with an update shortly.
Show me Carfax.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay.
Cool. Wait, how did you get in here exactly?
Say show me at Carfax.com.
Seriously, how did you get in here?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew, fizz. Feel better fast. No water needed. Alka-Seltzer Plus Fizzy Chews.
I was born with idiopathic infantile scoliosis. I've had 17 surgeries.
I was born missing my lower right foot.
I was born 10 weeks early without my left arm.
I have osteogenesis imperfecta. I've broken over 70 bones in my lifetime.
With my polio, I have tough days and my pain just pops out of nowhere. There's nothing to be afraid of because all the doctors are all so nice.
Most people think, oh, it's the medical side of things at Shriners Hospital, but for me, it's the confidence that I've gotten.
When somebody sees these commercials, there'll be a phone number on the screen, and all they have to do is call and make a donation to help kids like me.
Thanks to a generous donor, your gift will have 3 times the impact to help more kids.
When you join with us, we'll send you one of these adorable blankets as a thank you and a reminder of all the abilities you are helping make possible.
We have so much to celebrate this time of year.
Please call or go to loveshiners.org. Your first gift of $19 a month will have 3 times the impact in the lives of kids like me.
You are the best you because Shriners has given you the confidence that you need.
It's just really cool knowing that you're part of something bigger than yourself.
Shriners has given so much to us, and we have a mission and we have a goal that we want to help more kids.
From all of us at Shriners Hospitals for Children, Merry Christmas.
Please call the number on your screen or go to loveshiners.org. If operators are busy, please call again. And when you become a monthly donor, your first gift will have 3 times the impact to help more kids. Thank you for giving.
The Virginia Lottery has so many ways to play. So play daily games like Pick 3, Pick 4, and Pick 5 with Fireball. New games or old favorites, it's your play. Play daily.
Netflix is the home for all your favorite movies and TV shows, and now games. Let's play! If you have a phone, you have a controller. You never know who's gonna crash the party.
Dramatic Olympics?
You thought I was the party crasher.
If you've got Netflix, you've got game night.
Just draw a hat.
Without the rest of the ensemble?
Being a nurse means being focused on others. At Post University, our advanced nursing degree programs are focused on you. With 100% online classes, monthly start dates, and accredited programs for BSN, MSN, and DMP degrees. Apply now at Post.
After Christmas vacation season, see what makes Chevy tick.
This guy is talented and very dangerous.
We're not rolling. Are we rolling?
Yes.
This whole time?
I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not. New Year's Day at 8 on CNN, and next day on the CNN app.
She made history as the youngest female leader in her country's history, and at the time, the youngest head of government in the world. But as former Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin recounts in her new memoir, Hope and Action, shattering the glass ceiling sometimes comes at a high personal cost. Dana spoke to her recently about the book and her message to future leaders.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I want to start with sort of the big picture of your book, and that is your election, an all-female-led coalition behind you. It really became a global symbol of a new type of leadership, young, progressive, female. How did that end up affecting your ability to actually govern?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. 2019, when I was elected as a Prime Minister of Finland, it was also a surprise for me because I had to step in when the previous Prime Minister had to resign. and then led a coalition government with 5 parties, all led by women. And I'm very grateful that I was able to serve my country and lead my country with these amazing women. But of course, during our government, there were the big crises, global pandemic, the war in Ukraine, our accession to NATO. So the governing part was of course filled with big crises and big challenges that we face together.
And so given that, well, let's actually just pick up where you just left off, because I was going to ask you about the fact that you had so many challenges. As you mentioned, the pandemic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, after years of saying we don't want to be in NATO, going into NATO. And yet, what you write about is finding that the media was more focused on your personal life than that work. A video of you dancing at a friend's party became what you call a scandal, where you were asked to apologize, even to take a drug test. Here's what you write. The real political crime here, we realized, was that I didn't look or behave like a prime minister is expected to look or behave. I was at a party full of young people at someone's apartment instead of a staid dinner with 8 courses and wine pairings. Now, I just want to say, you did take a drug test. You did not apologize.
I did not apologize of spending a free night out, dancing, singing, doing quite normal things. And of course, that few weeks of my life was quite heavy, because the media was, of course, after that story. And I think it also tells us a broader story, how women are treated, and that there is a double standard for women in their professional lives. We are not seeing as full people, 100% of ourselves, that we have that professional side, whether we are leaders or professionals otherwise, and then we can be at the same time mothers, daughters, friends, have a free time of our own. So I think it sends us an important message also, that the women are also entitled of being themselves, and I want to also show that example, that I didn't apologize something that there was nothing to apologize for, and I tried to stay myself, even though handling that very difficult job.
You know, the double standard is obviously there, and knowing and reading about your experience, it is very, very obvious. But we keep hearing about how far women have come, and they have come further than they were before. I mean, I'm sitting in an anchor chair. You were prime minister of a very important European country. So how do you kind of square that, the fact that we have many more seats at the table, and yet you still had the experience that you did?
Well, of course, compared to what used to be, and there are more seats on the table, but still, if we look the world, it is still very male-dominated. We don't have enough women on powerful positions. We don't have enough women leaders leading countries or leading businesses. So there is still a big lack of women on those seats. And I want to support women and show through my own story and my own example that I write also in my book, but also otherwise support and encourage women to take that leadership position in their lives and seek those opportunities, because we need more women, and we need more women of different backgrounds making decisions.
And you write about in your book the fact that you do want to inspire women to get into politics in the future, but as we've just been discussing, and as you say pretty extensively, it came at a big cost for you. You write about severe burnout, you got divorced, you came under this media scrutiny that you were talking about, you ended up resigning from your seat in Parliament. If I'm a young woman thinking about running for office, I'm not sure your experience is going to want to make me jump into politics.
Well, of course, if we look at any prime minister or leader of a government or a nation, that job is difficult, and there's no way to go around that fact. But still, I want to encourage people, join political parties, run for office, vote, and try to influence, because it is our responsibility to make the world a better place. That was the reason why I joined politics in the first place. I wanted to make a change, influence on climate change, loss of biodiversity, human rights, equality. And I thought that it was my responsibility not only my possibility to change things, but it was my responsibility, and I want to also send that message to people. Act. There's always hope if there's action, so act on your own behalf, act for somebody else, make a small or bigger difference in your life, in your communities, to your country. I think that is very important message, that everybody has the responsibility to build a brighter future.
Thank you so much. The book is Hope and Action. Thank you so much, the former Prime Minister of Finland, Sanna Marin. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining Inside Politics. CNN News Central picks things up after a quick break.
New Year's Eve Live with Anderson and Andy starts at 8 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
This is my dad, and we like to play music together and go out to eat afterwards.
She never lets me eat what I like.
Well, I'm just trying to take care of you. And as your memory becomes a bit of an issue, I just want to make sure you get the best senior care.
Maybe I'll forget to get old.
Oh, okay, very funny, but I did find a place for Mom. They provide free, dedicated senior living guidance so that we can find the best senior care available in our area.
This calls for a celebration.
Okay, but nothing greasy.
French fries are vegetables.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away. But he did an incredible thing for my family. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even at the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief. Rinvoq can stop joint damage, and in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya, with rapid relief at 4 weeks. Many people experienced remission at 1 and even 2 years. Some saw 100% visible healing of their intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Tremfya now offers self-administration from the start. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
Mom, look at all these great docs I found on ZocDoc.
Do you have double pink eye?
Dr. Cleaves makes people feel comfortable, and Dr. Barbosa is incredibly attentive. Booked it, sweetie.
Gross.
You've got options. Book now.
Netflix is the home for all your favorite movies and TV shows, and now games. Let's play! If you have a phone, you have a controller. You never know who's gonna crash the party.
Dramatic lithics?
You thought I was the party crasher.
If you've got Netflix, you've got game night.
Just draw a hat.
Without the rest of the ensemble?
Being a nurse means being focused on others. At Post University, our advanced nursing degree programs are focused on you. With 100% online classes, monthly start dates, and accredited programs for BSN, MSN, and DMP degrees. Apply now at post.edu.
Come on.
They're relying on us. We're relying on you. Please donate.
Erin Patterson invites her in-laws for lunch.
The death of 3 people.
What killed them was death cap mushroom.
Did she do it deliberately or did she not?
Death Cab, The Mushroom Murders, now streaming on the CNN app.
Closed captioning brought to you by Cardia Mobile, makers of the world's most advanced personal EKGs.
Check your heart from anywhere.
and detect atrial fibrillation with Cardia Mobile, the #1 doctor-recommended personal EKG. On sale now at Cardia.com or Amazon.
The U.S. military carries out, quote, powerful and deadly strikes against ISIS militants in Nigeria, why President Trump says he ordered the action. Plus, homes and cars buried by mud after dangerous storms slam California, and more rain is expected there today. Meantime, a big blast of winter weather across the country could cause a travel mess on what is expected to be one of the busiest days for folks traveling home after Christmas. And Kevin McAllister, eat your heart out. A real-life Home Alone playing out after a 12-year-old boy hears an apparent burglar in his home. How we saved the day. We're following these major developing stories and many more, all coming in right here to CNN News Central. Thanks so much for joining me this afternoon. I'm Erica Hill in New York. Horace and Brianna are off for the holiday. Well, less than a week is left now in 2025, and for President Trump, the next few days could bring some major foreign policy moves. Earlier today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he will be heading to Florida this weekend for U.S.-led peace talks. Zelensky's words, quote, a lot can be decided before the new year. President Trump is also expecting a visit from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday. We're waiting to hear more from the White House on both of those meetings. Overshadowing, though, the conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine right now are the U.S. military's deadly strikes on ISIS targets in Nigeria overnight. President Trump saying they were done to stop the killings of Christians. CNN senior White House reporter Kevin Liptak is in West Palm Beach near Mar-a-Lago, where the president is spending the holidays. So, Kevin, first of all, what more do we know about these strikes and the targets specifically?
Right, and the president has described them as, quote, perfect strikes. I'm told that they involved more than a dozen Tomahawk cruise missiles fired from a U.S. Navy vessel towards 2 ISIS sites in the northwest part of Nigeria, so right up there along the border with Niger. And what U.S. Africa Command says that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed, at least according to their initial assessments. And President Trump has said that this was all meant to go after a group that he says is executing a slaughter of Christians. It's something that he's been talking about now for some weeks. The president wrote on Truth Social that he had ordered a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. The president goes on to say, I have previously warned these terrorists that if they do not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. Now, these strikes do appear to have been coordinated with the Nigerian government, and that is significant because the leadership there has bristled in the past at the president's suggestions of U.S. intervention. What the foreign minister told CNN earlier today was that he had spoken with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and that the Nigerian president had given the go-ahead. Now, the plight of Christians in Nigeria has been something of an animating force for American conservative Christians in particular, who have urged President Trump to do more to protect that group in the country. But the security situation in Nigeria is incredibly complex. Both Christians and Muslims have been targeted for violence. The reason for that violence is multifold, whether it's religious persecution or whether it's crime, whether it's disputes over land. And so it's a complex situation, but one thing seems clear is that the president says that this could happen again, potentially saying that there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues.
So, Kevin, so that's the Nigeria front. We're also hearing the announcement of these meetings, these planned meetings with President Zelensky, Prime Minister Netanyahu. What is the White House saying about those meetings?
Right. And the meeting with Netanyahu, which will be on Monday, has been on the books for some time now. It's this meeting with Zelensky that I think caught some people by surprise. He says that he'll be here on Sunday. We don't have confirmation from the White House on that just yet. But I do think that this is significant because, remember, President Trump had said just recently that he didn't think it would be useful to meet with Zelensky unless they were close to reaching an agreement on a peace plan for Ukraine. And there have been intensive discussions, including down here in South Florida. The president's envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, meeting with a delegation from Ukraine meeting with an envoy from Russia to try and hammer down some of these sticking points on an agreement. It seems as if right now it is this question of land concessions that remains the top outstanding issue. You know, Moscow has not backed off its maximalist demands that Ukraine give up the entire Donbass region. And so I think what President Trump and President Zelensky will want to discuss when they sit down at Mar-a-Lago is how to get to a point where Zelensky can agree to something that perhaps Moscow could also agree to when it comes to these territorial concessions. Now, Ukraine has also proposed its own form of this peace plan as these discussions and as these drafts go back and forth. It includes affirmation of Ukraine's sovereignty, details of security guarantees from the U.S., which will be essential, as well as a financial development package to rebuild Ukraine once the war is over. So some very, very critical topics for these two men to discuss when Zelensky's down here on Sunday, Erica.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, appreciate it. Thank you. Turning now to the deadly and disastrous storms in California. A final round of heavy rain is drenching the state today and threatening to bring with it even more flooding and debris flows following a days-long siege of storms. These back-to-back systems leaving homes and cars. Some of these pictures are just tough to wrap your mind around. Look at that. They're encased in mud. That car is literally stuck in a mud flow. This prompted forced evacuations, understandably, countless water rescues as well. The images that you're looking at are from the town of Wrightwood in Southern California. A San Bernardino County fire officer says they have been going door to door amid heavy downpour at times.
We saw a whole lot of rain coming. We were approaching 10 inches from the Wrightwood area that came down in a single operational period. That led to widespread flooding throughout the community. A number of rescues were performed throughout the day. Those rescues include water rescues from vehicles traveling onto flooded roadways. We had people that were trapped in their houses.
So authorities report at least 4 people have been killed across the region. The Weather Prediction Center says more than 18 million people are at risk. For more on that forecast, as well as the weather conditions we're keeping a close eye on across the country, here's CNN meteorologist Allison Chinchon.
We have 2 separate systems that we are keeping a close eye on. The first one, that's the one that's expected to wrap up as we finish up the rest of the day on the west coast into the northeast. This is the next area to watch. The system itself will be sliding from the Midwest into the northeast as we go through the remainder of the day today. But we begin in California, where there is still a threat for excessive rainfall and flooding across portions of Southern California and even this narrow path through Central California in anticipation of the extra rain that we are expected to get throughout the rest of the day today. When you look at the forecast, you'll see that surge of moisture into Southern California, but then finally, by the time we get to Saturday, all things clear back out and we finally get some drier conditions, not just Saturday, but also into Sunday. And this will continue at least through the early portion of next week. Now, additional rainfall totals, you're looking at maybe an extra 1 to 3 inches in most places. But remember, this is on top of what these areas have already had, which is what's likely going to cause some concern. It's also going to keep their temperatures on the cooler side out to the west, whereas much of the central portion of the country is dealing with temperatures above average. Not just 5 or 10 degrees, but near record breaking. You're talking 20 to even 30 degrees above where they normally would be this time of year. And this will continue through the rest of the weekend. The other cool spot is going to be the northeast, and this is why this is important, because that means when this next system begins to slide through, it's going to bring a lot of winter precipitation. The purple color here indicating the snow. The pink is a little bit of a wintry mix, excuse me, where you have some sleet and even some freezing rain. This is going to continue to slide into the northeast as we go through the remainder of the day today, and especially through the evening hours. Some of this will still be wrapping up early tomorrow morning, especially across places like New York, Hartford, and even around Boston. But by the time we get to lunchtime, that system finally exits the area. Some of these locations could be looking at upwards of 1/4 of an inch of ice. This is a concern because as that accumulates on trees and power lines, it could lead to some power outages. And then in terms of snowfall, this could vary slightly, but there are going to be some isolated locations that could pick up 8 to 12 inches total.
All right, Allison, thanks for that. Still ahead here, the California woman accused of killing her 9-year-old daughter during a road trip faces a judge. With the latest for you from court. Plus, a major recall this hour involving potentially radioactive shrimp It could be in your freezer. And later, what would you do with, $1.8 billion? We're going to ask someone else who bought a winning Powerball ticket. We know that this one was purchased in Arkansas. What might they be plotting today with all those winnings? Much more ahead, right here on CNN News Central.
New Year's Eve Live with Anderson and Andy starts at 8 on CNN and watch on the CNN app.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even at the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief. Rinvoq can stop joint damage, and in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Hey, John Hamm.
Hey, Gare Bear.
You still coming to my dog's birthday party?
I would, but I have to sell my car.
Well, just sell it to Carvana.
Carvana? Huh.
Great offers, 100% online. They'll pick it up. You told me about Carvana.
Did I?
And isn't that your car?
I mean, that could be anybody's car. Okay, fine. I sold it to Carvana. Thank you. Whoa.
So you'll come?
I just sold my car. What, am I gonna walk? Sell your car to Carvana today.
You love a clean plate. Almost as much as we do. And we've been dedicated to a safe, effective clean for 70 years. Cascade leaves no mess, no residue, no worries. Cascade, leaving nothing behind since 1955.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Whoa. I'll go get us tickets.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one who knows being ready for the unexpected comes from having a partner like Grainger, whose professional-grade products and next-day delivery help him rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Jen. Yeah, look, it's you. It's your pain and congestion. It's all there.
No, I beat my pain and congestion with new Mucinex Rapid and Clear.
Wait, what? Ah, time out, time out!
Beat pain, congestion, and headaches. New Mucinex Rapid and Clear.
With less pain and swelling from active psoriatic arthritis. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. With Tremfya, less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. Some patients even felt less fatigued. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away. But he did an incredible thing for my family. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
I am who I am, and I like who I am.
Chevy Chase is exciting.
Sarcastic.
Very, very funny.
I'm not gonna let anybody figure me out.
I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not. Premieres New Year's Day on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
The California woman accused of killing her 9-year-old daughter during a multi-state road trip, making her first court appearance today. Ashley Buzzard is charged with first-degree murder after being arrested earlier this week. Authorities allege she killed her daughter with exceptional cruelty and viciousness. Melody Buzzard's decomposing remains were found on December 6th in a rural community in southern Utah, hundreds of miles from her California home. CNN senior correspondent Josh Campbell has been following the developments, and you have a little bit more on today's hearing. So, Josh, where do things stand?
Well, we're keeping an eye on the live feed from court right now in Central California. We haven't seen Ashley Buzzard appear yet, but this will be the first instance where she is in court after being arrested and charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of her daughter. CNN is attempting to determine whether she has attorney representation. It's important to note how we got here. It was back in October that the young girl was reported missing, not by the mother, but by her school. Authorities then launched an investigation. They determined that both the mother and the daughter had engaged in this road trip across numerous states, going so far east as Nebraska and Kansas. Authorities released CCTV footage that they found at different businesses along the way, where there looks like both the mother and daughter are wearing these clumsy disguises, wigs. Authorities allege that the license plates on their rental car were swapped out at times. The mother returned to California. The young girl was not with her. Now, we learned just a few days ago from authorities that there was a couple that was out in a rural part of Utah taking photographs and came across the decomposed remains of someone. Authorities say that they conducted their forensics. They determined that the DNA of that individual matched familial DNA of Ashley Buzzard. They determined this was indeed the young California girl. I'll let you hear from the sheriff who spoke recently about some of the other types of evidence that they found, specifically shell casings from bullets that were found at the crime scene and ammunition that was found at the family home. Have a listen.
Sheriff's detectives, along with the FBI evidence response team, responded and served follow-up search warrants at the home of Ashley Buzzard. During the search of the Mars Avenue residence, an expended cartridge case was recovered. Cartridge cases found at the Utah crime scene resulted in a Nibin hit, linking them to the single cartridge case that was found at the Buzzard residence.
Now, authorities say that they don't yet know a motive in why this, might have occurred. Obviously, this heinous act here that was alleged by authorities, we don't know if she's actually been cooperative with authorities after being taken into custody. But Erica, all of us, when we see a missing persons case, we hope for the best possible outcome. This is certainly not that. Just a truly, truly tragic outcome with this missing girl.
Yeah, it's terrible. The officer there was mentioning the casings.
Ladies and gentlemen,
is
I'd
there
like
a
to
murder
share
weapon
some information
that was
with you.
found?
Not that they found yet, but they say that their investigation is not over. And, you and I both know from covering so many shooting cases that the ballistics from what is left behind, both the bullet as well as the shell casing that is expended from a firearm, that's critical evidence, because especially the ATF, which is the lead agency in the U.S. that can help try to match different ballistics, they bring in their analysts at these laboratories, and they can see the unique marking that a shell casing, that a gun makes on a shell casing. If you have ammunition at a crime scene and ammunition at your home, and that seems to match, that is obviously very, very strong evidence. So authorities say they haven't found a gun yet, but the search isn't over.
All right, Josh, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Just to keep you updated, we're about to fly over Evansville. We're maintaining a steady altitude of 35,000 feet and traveling at 560 miles per hour. The outside temperature is minus 63 degrees. In case of any questions, we're here to help. Thank you for flying with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share some information with you. We'll be flying over Cleveland in a few moments. Our altitude is 35,000 feet, and our speed is 630 miles per hour. Temperature outside is minus 62 degrees. Rest of the flight should be smooth. In case of any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our cabin crew members. Thank you and enjoy the flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here from the cockpit. We are currently... sorry, just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaker from the cockpit. We'll be beginning our descent into the LaGuardia Airport. Looking at we're expecting wheels down around 3:44 p.m. Forecast is showing that it will remain overcast with temperatures in uppers 20 degrees. Light winds moving to the east. Visibility is unrestricted. Later into the day, around sunset, there will be some developing drizzle, light freezing drizzle, sleet, and possibly snow around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. local. Our landing should be clear of the worst of it, and we're looking at smooth, little bumpy descent. But once again, thank you for choosing American for your travels. We'll be back with an announcement once we begin our descent. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting our descent into New York. Please follow the instructions of the cabin crew as we prepare for landing. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard from our captain, we are starting our descent. Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened and your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. We will collect any remaining service items in a few minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one last time from the cockpit. We're looking, we should be around 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Thank you.
Cabin crew, 10,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in a few minutes. Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened, and your seat back and tray table are in the upright position. The use of the lavatory is not permitted at this time. Thank you.
Cabin crew, take your seats for landing.
Welcome to New York. Temperature outside is 27 degrees. Current local time is 43 minutes past 15. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please make sure you have all your personal belongings with you before you leave the aircraft. On behalf of the crew, I would like to thank you for flying with us today. We hope you had a pleasant flight, and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the LaGuardia Airport. Local time is 3:46. We thank you for choosing American for your travels today. We'll be parking at gate 15 today.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
We have arrived at the gate. Please remember to take all your personal belongings with you. Have a great day.
Was there an update or something? Yeah. Probably. Oh wow, we ran out of boosts. Someone needs to boost.
Or is it off? I don't know. Why are you asking me? Yeah, it'll probably be in game. Oh yeah, it'll have to be in game, sorry. M&G goes to protect it. Because they do voiding at courthouse. It's not easy to just blow up. And everybody, welcome. Welcome to LaGuardia. We will be... did I fix it? Okay, yeah, I fixed it. Thank you for flying. And we've arrived at gate Alpha 16.